When they came to the place that is called the Skull, they crucified Jesus there with the criminals, one on his right and one on his left. Then Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they cast lots to divide his clothing. Nails are not intended for people. The whole thought of someone hammering nails into the wrists and feet of another human being is so hard to fathom that I can't even stand to think about it. How can people inflict such suffering upon other people? The point of crucifixion was not just to execute someone. It was to torture them. After Jesus was brutally whipped, paraded through the streets, forced to carry his own cross, mocked and derided by the crowds, he was nailed to a cross where he was left to hang until exhaustion and suffocation finally took his life. And as horrible as we think crucifixion might have been, it was even worse than that. No wonder Jesus prayed in the garden that if it were at all possible, he'd just as soon avoid it. And yet, we know that the Romans of Jesus' time weren't the only people to perpetrate such horror upon other human beings. Every history book, and even the Bible itself, is filled with acts of violence that people have inflicted upon one another. It's precipitated by fear of the other. We're always looking for someone to blame, someone to hate, someone to destroy. The violence that we commit against one another is the great sin of the world. It's what killed Jesus. But something remarkable happened when Jesus was faced with that evil force of hatred and violence. He didn't deride those who nailed him to the cross. It wasn't within him to hate those who hated him. Instead, he looked upon them with compassion. And he spoke words that it's hard to imagine any person would ever speak in this situation. "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." Jesus' forgiveness of those who crucified him changed everything. It was no longer just the crucifixion of an innocent man, but it was the defeat of hatred, which was no match for the love of God. As we sing in the hymn based on the words of Bishop Desmond Tutu, goodness is stronger than evil. Love is stronger than hate. Light is stronger than darkness. Life is stronger than death. Victory is ours. Victory is ours through God who loves us. Amen.